The decision that changed everything. 40 seconds. That's not the time it takes to make a sandwich or tie your shoes. That's the time it now takes to build a car. Not a toy, not a shell, a real, road-ready vehicle. When this number first leaked out, most people ignored it. It sounded exaggerated. Impossible. Car factories have always been slow, complex, and painfully mechanical. Steel stamped here, parts shipped there, humans running back and forth fixing what machines couldn't. For over a century, that was just how cars were made. And then Tesla quietly broke that rule. This wasn't a loud announcement. No dramatic stage reveal. No countdown clock on a live stream. The shift happened inside factories most people will never see, using methods the traditional auto industry never wanted to take seriously. While rivals were arguing about EV demand, charging stations, and subsidies, Tesla was redesigning the very idea of manufacturing. Not improving it, replacing it. Instead of thousands of individual parts, Tesla began collapsing complexity. Dozens of components became one. Hundreds of steps disappeared. What used to require armies of suppliers and months of coordination was suddenly handled in-house, at machine speed. Massive casting machines replaced long assembly lines. Software replaced human judgment. Time itself became the enemy Tesla decided to eliminate. But here's the part nobody talks about. This wasn't just about speed. It was about control. When you can build a car in 40 seconds, everything changes. Costs collapse. Errors vanish. Scaling becomes effortless. You don't need to beg suppliers. You don't need to wait for shipping lanes. You don't need to slow down when demand spikes. You simply produce. That decision rewired Tesla's entire position in the global auto industry. Legacy manufacturers didn't see it coming because they couldn't. Their factories are locked into decades-old layouts. Their supply chains are fragile webs spread across continents. Every small change takes years, approvals, and billions. Tesla skipped all of that by starting from a blank page and asking one dangerous question. What if the factory mattered more than the car? Once that mindset took hold, the race was no longer about range, design, or even price. It became a race about who could bend time the fastest, who could turn raw materials into finished vehicles before competitors even finished their meetings. And this is where everything changed. Because when one company figures out how to compress hours into seconds, the rest of the industry isn't just behind. It's obsolete by default. You can't catch up to a system designed to move faster than your thinking process. Yet this decision also planted the seeds of a much bigger problem, one that even Tesla may not fully control. Speed creates power, but it also creates pressure. And when you move this fast, there's no room for hesitation, no room for mistakes, and no room for slower rivals to survive. The industry felt the shock. Investors felt it. Governments noticed it. But the real consequences of that 40-second decision are only now beginning to surface. Why Tesla's dominance is no longer guaranteed. For years, Tesla seemed untouchable. The company that redefined electric cars, captured imaginations, and reshaped the market. Every new model was a headline. Every announcement sent stock prices soaring. The story was simple. Innovate faster, scale smarter, dominate completely. Yet behind this narrative, cracks were quietly forming. Tesla's dominance was never just about making cars. It was about controlling the perception of the future. Elon Musk became the living symbol of progress, a figure who could sell ambition itself. People bought not just vehicles, but the idea that Tesla was inevitable. Competitors looked on helplessly, trapped in the weight of tradition, incapable of matching the speed, hype, and innovation simultaneously. But now, the impossible is creeping in. The landscape is shifting, and the forces moving against Tesla are subtle, relentless, and strategic. Rivals are learning, not by imitation, but by observing the hidden vulnerabilities. Supply chains, once an afterthought for Tesla, are becoming a double-edged sword. While the company can produce a car in 40 seconds, its growth depends on materials that are finite, geographically concentrated, and politically unstable. Batteries, rare metals, and semiconductors, the lifeblood of EVs, aren't as limitless as headlines suggest. Then there's competition, smarter and quieter than before. BYD, Toyota, and even startups are not chasing the same story Tesla tells the world. They aren't trying to outshine Elon Musk. They're optimizing where Tesla is weakest: reliability, pricing, and global reach. While Tesla dazzles with speed and spectacle, its rivals quietly build factories, secure resources, and prepare for the moment when the first disruption hits. Consumer perception, once Tesla's fortress, is also changing. Early adopters embraced every flaw as a badge of progress. That patience is fading. As alternatives improve, buyers will no longer tolerate inconsistent quality, missed delivery timelines, or unexpected price spikes. Tesla's aura of inevitability can fade faster than a viral trend if customers begin to see competitors delivering comparable performance without the drama. Even regulatory pressures are tightening. Emissions targets, subsidies, and trade policies are moving in ways that could favor more established global players. Tesla's approach, aggressive and bold, now faces scrutiny that could slow its expansion or force costly adaptations. All of this converges to one uncomfortable truth: Tesla's dominance was never guaranteed. 42nd production or not, speed alone does not secure the throne. In the silent corners of boardrooms and factories worldwide, rivals are calculating the precise moment to challenge the unchallenged. And what happens next will determine whether Tesla remains the uncontested leader or becomes the cautionary tale of what happens when innovation outruns strategy. The question now isn't whether Tesla can maintain its lead. The real question is whether anyone can survive the next wave of disruption that's already on the horizon. The silent strategy of BYD, Toyota, and Suzuki. While the world fixated on Tesla's headlines, a quieter revolution was taking place elsewhere. BYD in China, Toyota in Japan, Suzuki with its agile approach. These companies weren't trying to outhype Tesla. They were quietly rewriting the rules of survival and domination in the auto industry. BYD is a textbook case of precision and patience. While Tesla focused on speed, BYD focused on infrastructure. They didn't just build cars, they built a network that supports every stage of electric mobility. Battery production, recycling, and vertical integration became their secret weapons. Their strategy is simple: control every variable Tesla can't fully control: the supply chain, the cost of materials, and the domestic market that's growing faster than any other in the world. And unlike Tesla, BYD is profitable on every unit they sell, which gives them resilience that hype alone can't match. Toyota, meanwhile, is playing a different game. For decades, they mastered efficiency with the hybrid revolution, and now they're applying that knowledge to the EV transition. But here's the twist: Toyota isn't just copying Tesla, they're waiting for the perfect storm to strike. They focus on reliability, battery longevity, and global scale, leveraging decades of manufacturing expertise. While Tesla is burning through capital and pushing production boundaries, Toyota quietly positions itself as the safe, dependable choice for billions of consumers who aren't early adopters. Suzuki, smaller but far from insignificant, is exploiting niches Tesla ignores. Compact cars, fuel efficiency, and emerging markets make Suzuki a formidable competitor where EV adoption will be slow and infrastructure is weak. They're not racing to build the fastest factory. They're racing to capture markets Tesla hasn't bothered to reach yet. It's a silent, almost invisible strategy, but one that compounds over time into a network of loyal buyers who will never even consider Tesla. What unites these rivals is patience. While the world celebrates speed, they understand that longevity in the auto industry isn't about headlines. It's about durability, scalability, and timing. Tesla may dominate today, but these companies are building foundations that will outlast hype cycles and market swings. They're exploiting Tesla's blind spots: supply constraints, overextension, and dependence on perception. What happens next will shock the industry. When the next generation of EVs hits, the market won't just reward speed. It will reward resilience, reach, and reliability. And those who appear to be behind now may emerge as the real winners, quietly consolidating power while Tesla faces the consequences of moving too fast, too soon. What the auto industry isn't admitting yet. There's a truth that almost no one in the auto industry is willing to say out loud. It's not about who makes the fastest car, who has the flashiest marketing, or even who dominates headlines. The real game is far messier and far more strategic than anyone wants the public to believe. For decades, automakers thrived on predictability. Supply chains were stable, factories were fixed, and consumer behavior followed decades-old patterns. Profit margins were calculated with precision, risks were minimized, and innovations were incremental. Tesla shattered all of that. Suddenly, speed and ambition became the currency of relevance, and the old rules no longer applied. But here's the part nobody talks about. The industry isn't catching up. They're adapting in ways that the public won't see, and the strategies unfolding behind closed doors are more ruthless than any boardroom drama you've ever imagined. Suppliers, governments, and investors are quietly reshuffling alliances. Contracts that once guaranteed parts and materials for years are being renegotiated under pressure. Countries with rare resources are realizing they hold more power than ever before, and automakers must navigate political tensions as carefully as production schedules. A disruption in one corner of the globe could ripple through every factory Tesla or its competitors rely on. And then there's the tech itself. Software and AI are no longer add-ons. They are now the foundation of what a car is and does. Every company knows that failing to integrate advanced tech could mean being invisible in the market within 5 years. But integrating it is expensive, complex, and risky. A single misstep could erase years of progress. That's why companies like Toyota, BYD, and even emerging startups are building quietly, steadily, out of the public eye. Their moves don't make headlines, but they ensure survival in a world where hype is fleeting and reality is unforgiving. Consumer perception is another battlefield. Tesla has built an almost cult-like following, but loyalty has limits. People may tolerate minor flaws in a company they trust, but they will abandon it if a competitor delivers superior reliability or accessibility. The industry knows this. That's why competitors are focused on the quiet wins. Better service networks, predictable delivery times, and cars that simply work without fanfare. The public doesn't see it, but these strategies chip away at Tesla's dominance, one consumer at a time. The real admission the auto industry is avoiding is this. The future isn't about one company being fastest or flashiest. It's about resilience, adaptability, and the patience to exploit weaknesses quietly. And Tesla, for all its speed and innovation, now faces a world where everyone else is learning faster than anyone expected. The future no one is ready for. The world of cars is about to look completely different, and most people won't see it coming. The next decade won't be defined by horsepower, sleek designs, or even battery range. It will be defined by control over energy, control over data, control over the entire ecosystem that surrounds the vehicles we drive. Tesla's factories may be producing cars in 40 seconds, but speed alone won't secure the future. The companies that survive will be those that dominate the invisible layers of the industry. Charging networks, software platforms, battery supply chains, and the intricate web of regulations that govern every continent. Tesla has a head start, but head starts rarely last when rivals are learning faster than ever and building quietly, systematically, and strategically. Autonomy is another battlefield no one is prepared for. Self-driving technology isn't just about convenience. It's about redefining ownership, insurance, and mobility itself. Whoever masters this will control how cars are used, not just how they're made. And this is where companies like BYD, Toyota, and Suzuki are silently preparing, testing strategies that could flip markets overnight. They aren't chasing headlines. They're building the frameworks that make the next generation of vehicles indispensable. Global power shifts add another layer of uncertainty. Raw materials are concentrated in only a few regions. Geopolitical tensions are rising, and trade policies are unpredictable. A single disruption could instantly reshape who holds influence over the car industry. Speed and hype won't matter if the materials to make cars or batteries vanish or become prohibitively expensive. And then there's the human factor. Consumers are no longer passive buyers. They are informed, connected, and demanding. They will choose reliability over drama, practicality over spectacle, and availability over promises. The era of blind loyalty is ending, and the companies that understand this will dominate while others scramble to recover lost ground. The truth is uncomfortable. The next chapter of the auto industry won't have a clear leader at first. Dominance will shift, alliances will form and break, and what seems like a safe investment today could be obsolete tomorrow. Tesla's 42nd car is a marvel, but it is only one piece of a far larger puzzle, a puzzle that will determine who survives, who thrives, and who disappears entirely. One thing is certain. The future is coming faster than anyone expects, and the world's largest car manufacturer today may not even exist in the same form a decade from now. Those paying attention quietly are the ones who will control the roads, the energy, and the technology that drives everything forward. And the rest? They'll be left chasing shadows of what could have been.